Alright, now this is the video about the part that I contributed to this level. As you can see, it's fairly large. We've got a lot of environment out there that of course isn't in the playable area, but it makes it look better. My contribution was the enemy base portion and everything contained within, all of the kismet, matinees, things like that. So everything from beyond this point is pretty much me. We start here, of course. This is a very, very early morning setting, so it's kind of dark out here because this is hidden by the mountains in the base. We've got these doors here and the matinee for that, and of course the trigger that only responds to the rocket launcher that's over here. That's the only way to get into the base, is to blow open the doors. Once we come inside, this was designed to be somewhat of like the little reception area of the compound. So that's why we've got like the plants and things in here. Of course, you go over here. This would be up towards the rampart or battlement, or whatever you want to call this area of the base where one of the robots was shooting you. And of course there's the armor and extra rocket launcher ammo if you end up coming up here. As we come back down, then of course we run into here. Now we've got the Kuchulain statues here, and then of course the med bay where there is the health kit. Now I did not do the materials for the beds. One of the guys on the team, he was doing the custom materials and things like that, or repurposing them, which he did for the ship that you see in the opening cinematic, because that was built with geometry, VSP brushes and things mostly, because we didn't have anybody to obviously design a ship in Maya or 3D Max and create a static mesh to use, and so he contributed this type of stuff to this. Then of course there's the elevator shafts. This is the first one. This one shuts off the primary alarm and then unlocks this elevator here, which then takes us down to the basement here. Now this is designed to be more of like kind of an underground future type parking garage slash hangar. As you can see, it's definitely, heavy cement, stuff like that. So I ended up putting in these columns here to make it look a bit more realistic, because this is a lot of weight, obviously, especially since this part is underground. And then of course I've got the fluorescent lighting with actual lighting here. So if I go, whoops, and turn off game mode, of course, you can see the lights that we've got. And of course the bots, and then the planes here. Now this was actually done, these are a number of static meshes here. This type of, and so what I ended up doing here was creating a bunch of different ones. And then the matinees, these were actually hidden because I was having problems getting these rotating with the vehicle here, and so I actually changed the rotating position so that this rotated in unison. But however, when they ended up unlocking, when it gets to this point here, they rotated and opened oddly because I had adjusted that. So basically right here there's a sleight of hand where these ones end up becoming visible and having collision, and then these ones end up actually disappearing. So that way they open and work just fine. Then of course we've got the bots that spawn in here, which then brings us into the generator section. Now there are 4 different lights here. There is red, yellow, blue, and black. Now black obviously represents the off, and these have different starting positions, and basically the player has to toggle through them to figure out the different combination. Each generator has a different combination to turn it off. And once that specific generator is locked into position, it will then shut down. And then, of course, the alarm will start going off once all three are shut down. Now, as far as the kismet here, here's, of course, obviously the generator puzzles. As they cycle through, the different materials end up being hidden. Then, of course, one will show and it ends up cycling through. Then, of course, there's conditions that check to see when it is in the proper position. And then when it is, it ends up disabling and locking that down so that the player can't accidentally mess it up after they've got it correct. And then the same thing, of course, for the other two generators, and then goes through a condition check to see if all three are true. If it does, then it ends up starting the self-destruct, where it says that you have 1 minute to escape, and actually you do. If you do not get out in 60 seconds, it blows up and you die. So then, of course, that brings us to the matinee, where this plays, and then the victory sequence. Now, I was pretty much responsible for, since most of the kismet work was actually done in the base, I ended up doing most of the kismet work. There was a couple things like the intro cinematic that I didn't do, and then the initial bot spawn outside of the crash ship I didn't do. But everything else was pretty much me. Then, of course, the checkpoint systems, where I did not die, but that's what these are here. And then there's one right over here after you end up climbing out of the pit there. And then there's several on the base as well, so that if you die, you don't have to start all the way back to the base. And then, so they just work as checkpoints. Otherwise, I designed pretty much everything here: the geometry, the outer shell, the inside, the bot AI, and really everything else. And that's about it.